We begin today's wrestling news and rumors video with a bit of news regarding Seth Rollins and Becky Lynch, because as most of you are well aware, Seth Rollins and Becky Lynch had gotten engaged back in the summer months of 2019, and many fans have been wondering exactly when Seth and Becky would be tying the knot and getting married, especially after welcoming their first baby into the world back in December of 2020, and there's now some good news for those fans. Yesterday, it was revealed that Seth Rollins and Becky Lynch were finally getting married, and we wish the two superstars a big congratulations for taking this big step in their relationship. Now the question still remains, when can we expect to see Becky Lynch finally make her return to WWE? And while we still don't know the exact date up to this point, despite there being lots of rumors and speculation, apparently Becky Lynch will be back in time for SummerSlam 2021, and there is currently a bit less than 2 months until SummerSlam, so it looks like Becky could be back sooner rather than later, although it still does remain to be seen which brand Becky returns on, as there is definitely good reason for Becky Lynch to return on Monday Night Raw and try to reclaim her Raw Women's Championship, or to possibly join SmackDown alongside her husband Seth Rollins and have some fresh new feuds with SmackDown's talented women's division stars including Bianca Belair, Sasha Banks, and Bayley. As we had briefly touched upon in one of our last videos, it appears as though the rumors are true, that Goldberg will in fact be returning to WWE in the near future and work some kind of a storyline for SummerSlam 2021. While a lot of fans believe Goldberg may have finished up his in-ring obligations with WWE following his loss to Drew McIntyre at the Royal Rumble this year, a match that definitely showcased Goldberg seemingly passing the torch to Drew McIntyre, and accept that his time in the squared circle is coming to an end, apparently Vince McMahon still feels Goldberg has a lot left to offer WWE when it comes to the former Universal Champion actually wrestling for WWE, and as many of you are likely aware, Goldberg is signed to a contract that will see Bill remain in WWE until 2023. So clearly there are still a lot of potential matches left for Goldberg in WWE before he likely retires after this contract expires. Now the big question here is who the WWE are planning for Goldberg to feud with heading into SummerSlam 2021. Because like we had mentioned, there was some speculation that Goldberg of all superstars could be Bobby Lashley's challenger for the WWE Championship come SummerSlam 2021. And by all means, judging from the reaction from fans about this rumor, most are not wanting to see Goldberg compete for the WWE title against Bobby Lashley, especially when there would be a good chance that Goldberg could derail Bobby Lashley's momentum by being the superstar to defeat Lashley for the WWE Championship. Because it was not that long ago that Goldberg essentially tanked the Fiend Bray Wyatt's momentum and credibility at Super Showdown 2020 when Goldberg won the Universal Championship from the Fiend. And it's entirely possible that the scenario of Goldberg squashing another world champion like Bobby Lashley could happen if WWE move in the direction of a Goldberg versus Bobby Lashley storyline. It seems like many fans feel if WWE need to resort to bringing back Goldberg to add a bit of hype and anticipation for SummerSlam 2021, WWE should not have Goldberg anywhere near the top championship again, and instead have Goldberg put over an up-and-coming superstar that will help build up one of the wrestlers who will be carrying the WWE when old-timer legends like Goldberg are long gone from the company and cannot return for a quick ratings fix. And let us know who you feel Goldberg should return to face against at SummerSlam 2021. For quite some time, Baron Corbin has been going by the name King Corbin, after Corbin had won the King of the Ring tournament back in 2019, but as of today that is no longer the case, and the former United States Champion's name has been changed from King Corbin back to Baron Corbin. Apparently the WWE are planning a bit of a gimmick change for Baron Corbin following his loss to Shinsuke Nakamura on SmackDown last week, which saw Corbin lose his crown to Nakamura, and this is the beginning of a change of character for Baron Corbin if new reports are true. A new behind-the-scenes rumor has leaked that Vince McMahon is planning for Baron Corbin to revert back to his lone wolf gimmick and persona, and by all means this is definitely a great decision on WWE's part, as the lone wolf Baron Corbin is far more interesting and worthy of a big push compared to the likes of King Corbin and Constable Corbin, which were pretty bleak after a short period of time. And a heel lone wolf Baron Corbin would certainly be very easy to push into the upper mid-card, and possibly even the top championship scene on Friday Night SmackDown with the right booking. Now let us know your thoughts on WWE changing Corbin's name from King Corbin back to Baron Corbin, and the plans WWE have in place to change up Baron Corbin's gimmick back to the Lone Wolf. Is this a good idea on WWE's part, or were you a fan of the whole King Corbin gimmick and character? Rumors and speculation are definitely starting to pick up regarding the upcoming 2021 WWE Draft, which is set to take place shortly following SummerSlam 2021, with these rumors being about some of the WWE's planned big shakeups, with some big-name superstars from Monday Night Raw and Friday Night SmackDown set to switch brands in an effort to freshen both shows up a bit, and increase fan interest across both Raw and SmackDown. While some big names that are rumored to be drafted to the opposite brand include the likes of Drew McIntyre, who is rumored to be drafted from Raw to SmackDown during the 2021 WWE Draft. One massive name that some fans are not thinking will be switching brands this year could very well be getting drafted to the opposite show, which will certainly shock fans. And that big name superstar is none other than the Tribal Chief and Universal Champion Roman Reigns. According to a breaking new behind-the-scenes rumor, Vince McMahon and WWE are legitimately considering the idea of having Roman Reigns and the Universal Championship drafted from SmackDown to Raw, with the WWE Champion Bobby Lashley being moved over to SmackDown. With Vince McMahon feeling like a big roster shakeup like this, and have the WWE's two premier world champions switch brands, will help increase fan interest in WWE heading into next year. Although one report suggests that McMahon considering for Roman Reigns to move over to Monday Night Raw is mainly because he feels Roman could help bring up the Raw ratings that have been extremely lackluster recently, and apparently the Universal Championship would be changed from blue back to red if Roman Reigns does get drafted from SmackDown to Raw. As many of you are likely aware, Sasha Banks will finally be making her return to WWE on the July 16th episode of Friday Night SmackDown, which is the WWE show that welcomes fans back in the crowd. And by all means, this is a fitting return for the legit boss, who will certainly get a big crowd response following her comeback. While the current SmackDown Women's Champion Bianca Belair has done a great job as SmackDown's leader in the women's division, with Bianca Belair successfully defending her championship against Bayley, according to a breaking new behind-the-scenes report, WWE could very well be planning for Bianca Belair's SmackDown Women's title reign to come to an end once Sasha Banks returns, with one rumor pointing out that Sasha Banks will likely be getting an immediate rematch for the SmackDown Women's Championship against Bianca Belair, in which Sasha would reclaim her championship, with Vince McMahon feeling like Sasha Banks deserves another reign with the SmackDown Women's title, and that Bianca Belair will have had a long enough title run at about 3 months give or take once the rematch is booked between Sasha Banks and Bianca Belair.